Another fucking victory, baby. Woo! Let's go. Let's go. Woo! Yeah, mother. Don't poke the turtle, motherfucker. I don't know why you do it. I don't know why you do it, motherfucker. Let's go. All right, hold on. Let me get it. I just got it. We're in one of these like 95 south for 2 seconds and then 295 things. So I'll let people stroll on in here. Post court press conference, full court press. Okay, right onto 95 south. Okay, man, I'm gonna get my shocks fixed or just get a new fucking car. Probably should.
Turn right.
You know, with all the grifting. So, what's up, people? How's everyone doing? What is with these fucking roads in North? Oh, I'm in North Attleboro. I'm allowed in this town. I'm allowed in here, dude. It was. I'm gonna tell you all what happened. It was the most. I mean, I've won before. I win all the time. I've never won like this. This was the most definitive win I've ever had. The judge at the end literally said the words, and I've never heard this from a judge before. He goes, "This isn't even close." That's what he said. I've never heard a judge say that before. Usually it's just like denied or whatever. The judge goes, "The aggressor in this situation is clearly the plaintiff." Oh my God, I'm gonna tell you guys all about it. Okay, we're good to go now. We're on the highway. We're ready to rock. We're gonna get on 295 south, and we're gonna go to 146, and then we'll be good. Okay, cool. Anyway, guys, so here's what happened. So, okay, chill out there. It was the same judge as previously. I don't know why. I think he was pissed, and because he got duped. He seemed like personally offended by her. And all right, so let me just first of all say that my attorney, Kathleen Fay, K-Fay, was one of the greatest lawyer performances I've ever seen. She was so good, so eloquent, just destroyed this narrative. Couldn't have possibly done a better job. So she's a fantastic attorney, and she represents. Like, if I didn't have her today, I don't know if it would have gone this way, because it's different when you're not speaking for yourself, somebody's speaking for you. Like, she got to ask me questions and whatnot. So I am going to download the whole audio, and I'll have that usually within a couple days, and you'll be able to hear all of this for yourself. But here's how it went. So first of all, let's talk about who was there. I get there, and I see, yeah, she was an actual girl boss. She was actually the same attorney who represented Lauren Murray, the victim that Kate abused, harassed, and threatened, and now is being charged with violating a prevention order. So it's the same attorney. So she's dealt with Kate before. She knows how Kate does. Anyway, so so I get there. Let's talk about who was here. Remember, I thought that maybe the kid wouldn't show up. She showed up. So she was there. Missed another day of school because I guess fuck school in Kate's house. School's not that important. So she's there with what appears to be a friend of hers, like a teenage friend. And so that another kid just missed school. Great parenting. And Kate is there looking as rugged as ever. Just like she needs to get some eczema or something. It's just like, you gotta take care. Whatever. So also there with her, Andrew Johnson, of course, is not here, but Brett was there. Brett Killoran was there. And after court, like, so Brett is a fucking moron. Remember, all I've said with Brett, I'm like, if I fought Brett, I would win. Everybody knows that. And, you know, like, I'm not afraid of you, basically, I said. Like, I'm not afraid of you. You can do whatever the fuck you want. Like, I'm not afraid of you. And so he shows up, he showed up today thinking that he was going to be able to testify. Now, what was he going to testify? According to him, he said he was going to show up and he was going to say that all those nasty things that Brett said about the child. Because remember, I'm not the one saying all this shit. Brett is talking about putting digits in him and stuff like that. Brett's the one saying all that. So Brett apparently, because he doesn't understand how the fucking courts work, thinks that anyone can just show up and talk. And that he's going to testify that he said those things, but I made him say those things. That was going to be his testimony today. Of course, he didn't get a chance to talk because he has nothing to do with any of this. So that was a trip. And by the way, he had to crowdfund it because he's a 52-year-old man who doesn't have a car, money. And I know you're watching right now, Brett. How you doing, baby? I won, motherfucker. You said I was going to lose, but guess what? I fucking won. Of course I won. As if it was ever in fucking doubt. Brett, what you got to come to terms with, my dude, and you're very upset over this, is you joined the wrong team. For some fucking reason, you loved Turtleboy for like 8 years. You know what we do here. You know we expose shitbags. And then one day you woke up and you're like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to quit the good guys and go fucking hang out with the shitbags. How's that working out for you? How's that working out for you? You're official my fucking bitch. And you will be forever. Just know that, motherfucker. You came all the way down here. And then he sees me in the court. And by the way, Brian Riccio was also there with a mask on too, which was fucking brilliant. I mean, you brought a great crew with you, Kate. You brought Brian Riccio and Brett Killerin. What a crew you brought with you. You have all these fucking people on YouTube and Discord and all these followers and shit. Who showed up for you today? Brett Killerin, who you had to fucking pay to come down here, and Brian Riccio, a lonely old man with literally nothing better to do in his fucking life than waste his time in a courtroom all day doing this shit. So, Brett on the way, when I get into the lobby, he's there and he's just like, yeah, outside afterwards, that could be so tough, I'm going to be waiting for you, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, sure. I said, sure. Okay. Sure, Brett. Let me go take care of this first. Let me go do this. And, yo, you're going to be tough, right? You said you're going to beat me up? I said I could beat you up. I didn't say, like, why? I'm not going to fucking just pick a fight with you. Like, but if it went there, I would win, obviously. And so, but the court officer sees him doing that. And apparently, the court officer comes up to me in court. It's like, I warned him. If he does that again, he's out of here. I'm like, it's fine. I'm not worried about him. And so afterwards, Brett, after I won, Brett goes outside the courtroom, and the officers apparently, they make us go after it. They always do that. And they told Brett, apparently, and them, you got to get out of here. You can't just stick around here to, spark a confrontation. This happens a lot in courts. You're not an award-winning journalist like I am. So he waits out, like, the court officer standing out there while I'm walking out, and the court officer goes up to him and he starts swearing at the court officer. I got it all on video. I'm going to share the video in a little bit. But bro, it was wild. I wanted to stand there taping it, but my attorney kind of like whisked me away. I'm like, oh, this is too good. This content was fucking great. He's ripping a butt. He looks so fat and useless. It was great. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. It's great. That guy used to be my co-host. Holy shit. So let's talk about what happened. So I get in there, and the first thing she comes up with her daughter, which I'm surprised because I'm like, this is going to be a disaster if the girl talks. Like, it's going to be a fucking disaster. She can't lie like kids can, And so she gets up there and she does the Micro Machines voice, and, you can imagine the shit she was saying. Sexualizing my kids, and posting about confidential DCF records and blah, 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 and saying that my kids molest each other and violating the order and all, like, calling up. She said the call, like, that I called and violated the order, all this nonsense. And then she's like, they go, do you have, like, where is your, and the judge interrupts her. He goes, because she keeps talking about the effect this is having on her kid. And the judge is like, I don't need to hear about the effect it's having on the kid. I need to know the 3 instances of unwanted contact that were designed to put her in fear, and that did put her in fear because that's what the statute asks for. Do you have any evidence of this? She goes, I have 300 pages. He goes, do you have copies? No. So she has to go make fucking copies. We do a recess. At this point, my attorney says to me, this is a disaster for her. It's going to get denied. And she can already tell. She can read these judges like a fucking book. And so, and shout out to the 355 people in here on a freaking Monday afternoon, motherfucker. Ooh. Anyway, I'm ecstatic right now. I'm ecstatic, baby. Ooh, what a win. This is one of the greatest wins. Destroyed her. Destroyed. She tried. And so she came in, she was so upset, had the angry face on. She's insane. Like, there's no other way to say it. So we come back from the recess, and I've looked over all the documents, and there's like a bunch of tweets of me saying shit from like years ago, responding to Lounge Lizard. She actually showed me the freaking thing. And I'm like, say to Lounge Lizard, I'm like, you sexually assaulted kids, something like that. And I'm like, Your Honor, how Twitter works is you respond to someone, and I'm responding to someone called Lounge Lizard. Are you Lounge Lizard, Kate Peter? No. Then I'm not talking about you then, am I? I'm talking to Lounge Lizard. Whoever the fuck Lounge Lizard is. Hi, Michelle Olsen. Enjoy your wheelchair, bitch. Anyway, I won, Michelle. How do you like them apples, baby? How do you like them apples? Woo! Cloud9, baby. All right, we're on 146 now. Okay, so anyway, she starts, she gets to say her whole spiel, and I'm not, it's too much to even say, because she talked a mile a minute, like as she always does, and she thinks that makes her sound smart, but of course in a court, and you just start rambling like this, and you don't have like the evidence to back up any of the shit you're saying. He's coming to my house, threatening to pick up my kids, blah, 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 and she's got nothing to back this up, literally nothing. She's like, the judge is like, how do you know that he came to your house? Well, somebody went there and took a picture and then sent it to him, and he posted it. And the judge goes, so what? You're allowed to do that. People are allowed. She goes, you get to go to his house and take pictures if you want to. But that's not illegal, and it's not grounds for an order. So anyway, then my attorney got to go, okay, after this is all done. And she's like, the kid is under oath, so she's going to ask questions to the kid. And she has highlighted various portions of the conversation between her and the Turtleboy page, which, remember, was not me at all times, and which when we do respond, our admins are perfectly calm and everything. And 3 times, which I didn't really notice, my lawyer noticed this, Teresa asks in those messages, can I call? Can I call? And my attorney's like, is this you asking him? Is this you asking to call him? But I thought you were afraid of him. Why are you asking to call him if you're so afraid? And she goes, I'm not afraid. As soon as she said that, it was over. It's like, dumbass. Kate, you should have coached your kid better, son. You should have coached your kid better. The number 1 requirement for a harassment prevention order to be granted is you have to be in fear. So pro tip, don't testify under oath that you're not in fear, because that immediately negates any chance you have of getting some bullshit order on me. You fucked up. Your kid fucked up. You didn't coach her right. And by the way, that girl is going to be a million times worse than Kate. Like, she could end up in jail. I'm telling you right now. That girl's like, I feel bad for her, but not really anymore. I mean, she is what she is at this point. Kate did this to her, obviously. Kate's the problem, but, you know, the daughter is doing this, like, she's gonna, like, falsely accuse some fucking poor guy of some shit, like, mark it down. It will definitely happen. Remember, in that arrest report with Andrew Johnson, she threatens to go to the police, which we submitted as evidence. She threatens to go to police and tell police that she was, that Andrew was a pedophile. So right away, she got no credibility because she's done this before. So my lawyer has highlighted several aspects of the conversation, and she goes, can you read this out loud? She asked Teresa, can you read this out loud to the court? And so she goes, do I have to? Like, she's got this nasty teenage attitude on her. She's wearing like a hoodie and shit like that. Just seemed like, you know, like a troubled juvenile, like, you know, the bad kid in school. Like, that's the way she came across. And I could say all this, Kate, as you just found out with the judge. We could talk about this shit. Because you chose to do this, not me. I wanted no part of this. But it was a pleasure smoking you. It was a fucking pleasure destroying you in court once again, because, bitch, that's all I do. All I fucking do is win in court and count. Add this one to the list. Yeah. So she has her read, like, the judge goes, yeah, you have to read those out. And it's her saying, your fucking kid looks like she sucks dick for fucking crack, motherfucker, like all this stuff. She has to read this out loud. It says has to read it out loud in court. The judge's face when he heard that turned blue. It was like he realized, like, oh shit, I was played at the ex parte. I was completely fucking played by these 2 degenerates, mother and daughter, who are basically carbon copies of each other at this point. And so she's got to read all of them out, like 10 different things she had to read out in the court. And I'm looking around the court, and the faces of shock and horror on people, the clerk's faces, the judge faces, everyone's face, and the look of embarrassment and humiliation on Kate's face. as her daughter was forced to read these things out loud in the courtroom was perfect. It was worth the price of admission. And she's so stupid that I knew this was going to happen. Anyone who's been in a courtroom before knows that this is how this plays out. So this is what you're opening up your daughter to, and you did it. You did it anyway. You made her skip a day of school to come to the courtroom to try to get an order to take down content that isn't about her, but about you, that makes you look bad. And that is the point that my attorney pressed home, and that I pressed home when I was questioned by my attorney, is that none of this is about the kid. This is all about Kate. Kate does not want blogs up that make her look bad. The daughter in the reports is the collateral damage. I write about matters of public concern and public abuse and blah, blah, blah. And so Kate got to cross-examine me. She asked the stupidest questions. She's like, how did you get the DCF documents? So now we have it on record, Kate, that you said it in court several times, that those documents are very real. Remember, she said those documents are false. She goes, how did you get these confidential DCF documents? And I said, I got sources send me shit, Kate. Anonymous sources send me shit. Doesn't matter how I got them, but I got them. And you say in your testimony, of course, that it's true. Everything in there is an actual DCF document. And, you know, she's like, well, you said that they molest each other. I'm like, I think anybody who read this report would infer that. Because it says in the report they had to be separated, Kate. Because they were doing things to each other. They were being inappropriate. So you tell me what that means. I'm like, you're free to, a lot of people have inferred that, including, she goes, and Your Honor, this, he played audio of someone else saying that your kids put digits in them, and he's actually here today, and he's reformed. She says, he's reformed, as if the fucking judge can, oh, yeah, remember the guy that talked about putting digits in your kid and stuff like that? Yeah, he's here, Your Honor. He's on my side. He's on my side, even though he has nothing to fucking do with this. But he's here anyway, wearing a shirt that says No Lives Matter and a hooded sweatshirt. He looks like shit. He looks like he hasn't showered in fucking weeks. Like, he looked horrible. He smelled like shit. Oh, he looked disgusting. Like, it was great. Brett, motherfucker. Like, dude, I hope you had a good trip, Brett. I hope it was worth it. I hope it was worth it, so. And, oh, by the way, Brett, don't show, this is your trespass warning, motherfucker. If you want to meet me somewhere, we can have a beer. I'll be happy to meet up with you for a beer. NCAA tournament game is tonight. We can go to any bar in Worcester that you want. I know you think I'm scared to go in bars in Worcester, but I will go there with a Turtleboy shirt on, a Turtleboy hat on, and with a fucking sign that says, I'm Turtleboy Aiden Carney, punch me in the face if you want. I'll do that with you, any bar. Ghettoest fucking bar in Worcester. Let's do it, baby, because I guarantee I'm a million times more like that any fucking bar in the city of Worcester than you ever will be. Just know that. Just know that. So, and the whole thing, dude, because, you know, the court officer wouldn't let you have your conversation in court. I said, I'm sure, got you to leave. So, and you did leave. You did leave. You did as you were told. Like the bitch that you are. You always do as you're told. You do as Kate tells you to do. You do as everyone tells you to do. You are so desperate to prove to Kate that you will do anything for her that you came down here for this. To humiliate yourself and apologize and grovel and say all those things I said about putting digits in your kids and stuff like that. I'm so sorry, Kate. You, Mr. I don't take nothing back. I'm fucking Mr. Tough guy. I'm Mr. I say what I feel. Yeah. Right. You'll say whoever's paying you, right, Brett? Because she paid for you to come down here. She donated to your stupid GoFundMe to come down here. And when I was paying you, right, that's what we do. We put money in the machine and Brett will say whatever. Yeah, Mr. I say whatever the fuck I want. Bitch, you say whatever your fucking masters tell you to say. That's all you'll ever be, a fucking slave. That's all you'll ever be. Bought and paid for, motherfucker. Fuck with me. What are you thinking, son? You knew better than that. Fuck is you thinking? Just go on your show, do your thing with Amanda, go reconcile with her. You guys can bond over this. You can have all your fucking legion of retards there with you in the comments, all anonymous, of course. And you can talk about how tough you were outside of court today. But I got video, and the video is going to show fucking otherwise. The video is going to show you acting like a fucking moron and getting kicked out of a fucking sidewalk. You absolute fucking moron degenerate. Anyway, so let's see. So so my lawyer cross-examines the kid and brings up all of this evidence, all the facts of the case, saying like, you know, you contacted him, right? Has he ever called you? And they tried pushing this whole thing about like, Your Honor, he called, and the girl goes, my lawyer, of course, said, like, we believe this is from a spoof number. We've printed out, the North Attleboro police spoke with my client. We have printed out documents of his caller records to show that you know, he never, like, called her. And on it, it says, like, I made there was only 3 calls that day, all incoming, no outgoing calls. The incoming calls were from her. They were from her. So good luck proving that. Like, all the calls are from you, but so you contacted my client, but my client has never contacted you. And she suggested the spoofing thing. They go, we don't know who did this, Your Honor, but it wasn't my client. And she goes, and Teresa says, well, Your Honor, how could they spoof it so that it made it look like his number? Because I don't even know his number. Exactly, kid. That makes me think she doesn't even know what's happening. You know who does know your mother? You know who does know my phone number and could spoof it to your phone? Your mother. Your mother knows it. Your mom did that to you. I hope you, I don't know if you know that, but your mom did that. I'm not sure if you're in on that, but definitely your mom did that, because that's a good question. Because I didn't know your phone number, so I wouldn't be able to call you, and you didn't know my phone number, so I would not be able to, you know, spoof you, right? So it had to be your mom. It had to be. She's the only one that could have fucking done this. I mean, I guess it could have been another troll, I suppose. But of course, your mother did this because she's a psychopath and she thought it would get me violated. And I've spoken with Officer Vigorito, if he's watching, and him and I had a nice conversation about this. He knows what happened. He knows that fucking, I'm not, like, obviously I'm not going to call a child whose phone number I don't have. And to what? Just to violate the order on purpose? Why would I do that? I have no reason to call this kid. Anyway, so then a lot happened, man. It was like a 45-minute long hearing. I'm going to get all the audio. It was dope. And at the end, you know, like, so Kate got to rant and do her usual shit. It'll all come back to me. A lot happened at once, so, and I'm driving, I can't look over my notes. But I do remember at the end, the first thing he said was, the First Amendment is strong. And he goes, everything I've seen here from both sides is covered by the First Amendment. It's not pretty, but your recourse that you're looking for here is not with an order. If you'd like to, you know, sue him, you are free to go that route. Like, go ahead, knock yourself out, but this is certainly not grounds for an order. And he specifically said, he goes, I was looking, you know, after seeing all this and reading all this, the aggressor is the plaintiff, not the defendant. The defendant is just responding. And so he figured it out real quick. He knew what was going on. And he goes, this is not grounds for an order. He goes, not even close. I have been probably dragged to at least a dozen of these, with some ridiculous, like Ryan Waters ones, like Big Black Jeff ones, like stupid ones. And I have never heard a judge say, not even close before. Like, usually it's just like denied. He's like, this isn't even close. Like, he was disgusted that this was in his courtroom. Of course, he's, you know, partly responsible for that because he granted the ex parte, but he seemed almost offended by it because he knew he got played. Within 5 minutes, he knew he got played. And, you know, I guess he played it safe by granting it. But my rights were violated for 2 weeks there and limited. And this was thrown the fuck out. So, thrown out. So, anyway, there were some turtle riders there. There was, who did we have in the house? 𝗵𝗂 in the house. Shout out to 𝗵𝗂. We had Regina. She was in the house. We had Lawrence A. He was in the house. I was also sitting with Turtle Cadet in the house, reporting for duty. And if and Phil Costas was there. So there was about 6 or 7 turtle riders there. And Kate brought that up too. She goes, Your Honor, he's urging people to come here, and he says he's going to do a victory celebration, and he says he's going to fucking take bets on whether or not he's going to win. It's like, Kate, none of this fucking matters. You have to stop talking. Like, if she had an attorney, like, or a former girl boss attorney, like, they could be like, you know, yeah. I cannot wait to get that not even close clip. I am going to remix that. We're going to, like, do some fun shit with that when that comes out. I don't know why you did this, Kate. You just gave me, like, a year's worth of content. You could have just gone away. I was done with your crusty ass. I'm way past you, girl. I've been on Tim. I get invited on Timcast and shit now. Chrissy Mayer. Like, I break major stories. I had Billboard Chris come on. Like, Billboard Chris came on. He's going on Tucker tonight. I got the guy going on Tucker before he comes on Tucker. That's me. I'm Turtleboy, motherfucker. You know who I am. You know my influence. You know my reach. You know the kind of stories that I expose. You know you're not even remotely close to being in my league, and that I have really no desire to talk about you at all anymore, except for the legal proceedings that I have against your boyfriend, not husband, Andrew Johnson, because he assaulted me outside of West Roxbury District Court for a hearing for your criminal arraignment for violating a harassment prevention order. Oh, that's another thing that my lawyer asked me. Have you... Do you know if Miss Peter is being charged with any crimes at the time? Like, actually, she is. She's being charged with violation of a harassment prevention order after sending out naked pictures of me to lots of people and another woman, an unrelated third party. And then if she violated that order, she is actually guilty of all the things that she's claiming I'm guilty of. That's all this is. So, you know, I want... It's all going to come out, the not even close freestyle. So, you know, I'm looking straight ahead on the highway right now on 146. I can read comments as they come up because they're pretty big. So if you have any questions or anything, feel free to ask. I can read them as they come up, but I'm focused on the road right now because that's the appropriate thing to do. But if you have any questions or anything, L384 out there. And feel free to... If mods want to post the turtle chat thing, if you want to donate, graciously appreciate it, because I'm fighting for you people out here, fighting for the First Amendment. When is the party? Good question. We need to throw one for sure. Is there further legal stuff with Kate in the future? Just her ongoing criminal matter with Lauren Murray and my ongoing criminal matter with Andrew Johnson. Any Kate video you can share? I mean, I'm driving, so... Kate's not finished. She's unhinged. You're right about that. She'll never stop. She won't give up from this. But again, nothing to talk about. The law continues. My attorney did ask, have you ever been in here before for an order? Yeah, I have. She tried to get an order on me. How'd that end up? It failed. It failed. Chrissy's hearing is not until... Chrissy's trial is April 11th. But for sure, we will throw a party. You know how many people this woman has tormented? Not just me. Completely innocent people. She said some heinous things about, you know, really nice people like Laura from London, like Lauren Laguna, like just horrible things about my family. She has harassed them relentlessly. Oh, dude, Discord right now, I guarantee she's on there in voice telling them that I lied and that he can pull... How does he do this? How does he do this? There go that man again. There go that man again, girl. I don't know. It's called having the law on your side. It helps. Yeah, Steve Tierney was there. He could tell you anything. Maybe he can add some comments. I can't. He kind of wrote a book there, so I couldn't read that. But she is losing her mind for sure. And so if you guys have any more questions, we're at a light. We're at the Extra Mart that was robbed in 1999 by 5 Doherty High School students, and they shot the clerk in there, James McCormick. All those Doherty kids. That was the year I graduated. And as every time I think, that's the murder mart right there. That poor James McCormick was killed by Alex Rodriguez in the summer of 1999. So there we are right there. Okay. What was Kate wearing? Something gross. You know, for her, it was dressed up. For her, it was... She didn't have the Cleveland Browns coat, so that was a good thing. Anyone else have any questions? Again, keeping my eyes on the road at all times. The phone is right in front of me in a stationary position. Is Dump Truck in the house? Is she here right now? Dump truck. No, dump truck wasn't there. Where was Shiz? I thought that was your girl, Kate. How come you're... That's a great question. That's actually a great question. Like, Kate, Shannon's like your best friend, right? She goes everywhere with you. You guys go out in Boston together. You get drinks, you get apps. Where was she to support you through this? She lives in Medfield. It's like, what? Half an hour away from Attleboro? Jump on the highway, you're there, no problem. How come she wasn't there today to support you? My supporters were there, but yours weren't. You know why, Kate? Because your supporters are all online. You have no real-life friends or supporters. The only two people who showed up were a man that you paid, Brett, to come, and who didn't get a chance to testify, and Brian Riccio, a professional internet troll with nothing to fucking do. You both showed up. No one else showed up, including Shannon, your right-hand girl. But Kate, you and I both know all the things you said about Shannon. You fucking hate her. But I made you become friends with her. That's who you had to relegate yourself to for friendships. I did that to you. I make the worst people have to befriend each other. I make people who hate each other have to become friends simply because they have one thing in common, is that they don't like me or they're mad at me at the time, and I let them make fools of us. That's what I do for a living. So there's that. Like, I got real stories to write when I get home. I will write about this, but I got to get the court audio. So that was pretty cool. Anyone else have any questions they want to talk about? Oh, we're in Millbury now. Lovely town. Lovely town. Going by the Blackstone shops there. Don't go there at Christmas. I did a blog on it. It's a disaster. You're going to get stuck there. Yeah, what happened to Kate always wins? What happened to... Does she always win because she lost today? And not just lost, like made a spectacular fool of herself. Big Daddy takes home another victory. That's what we do. A lot of extra emoji energy going on in that courtroom today. Not from, well, from Kate too. She had some extra emoji energy as well, I'd say. But 𝗵𝗂 is next. 𝗵𝗂's next. The kid did read all those nasty texts. It was great. She did not want to. She tried not reading them, and the judge made her read it. Like, you opened yourself up for that, Kate. Did you not know that that was going to happen? Did you not know that she had to do that? I thought for sure she wouldn't show up with the kid, but when I saw her there, I'm like, oh, this is going to be great. This is going to be good. Will she get in any sort of trouble for lying? No, that's not. Unfortunately, no one ever gets in trouble for perjury in court. I've never heard of anyone like prosecuted for anything like that. They let you get away with it. You know, if a judge wanted to, they could, but they kind of encourage it by not. I feel like the judge did kind of read her the riot act at the end when he said, like, not even close. You're the problem. That's what the judge said. So. Yeah, like David said, she was warned. This is what's going to happen. She chose to pursue it anyway, and I am glad she did, because this was a fun little Monday, little road trip here to start the week off right. I got some big stories in the works this week, baby, because that's what I do. I win in court, and then I break major news stories, and then I make dinner for my kids, and I get them off the bus. That's what I do every day. Unlike 𝗵𝗂𝗧, who apparently never works, goes to court all the time, tries to stop me from exercising my First Amendment rights, exposing her, you know, loses half her kids, hurts and damages the other half, and then weaponizes their pain as soldiers in her fucking ongoing crusade against me. My lawyer asked me, like, do you have a feud with her? I'm like, I wouldn't even call it that. I would call it more of an obsession on her part. Like, a feud implies that, like, these are equal parties here who have equal interest. I have limited interest in her. She has unlimited interest in me. And 𝗵𝗶, of course, offered. Remember, Kate, 𝗵𝗶 3 months ago. And what's up? Shout out 𝗵𝗶 if you're watching. Your girl lost again. You should talk about that. Hey, 𝗵𝗶, you talk a lot about court cases. You always break down all the Chili de Castro stuff. And that's cool and all. People have an interest in that. But Chili's like borderline retarded and is comical and he's not real. Why don't you talk about Kate's failures? How come you never do that, 𝗵𝗶? But anyway, when Merb interviewed her and I in court, or on his show, he specifically asked her, are you willing to stop this? And she said, no. She said, no. And I said, yes. It was immediate. Yeah, no problem. So you got this, girl. You got exactly what you wanted. You hadn't got spanked enough. You got spanked again, not by me this time, by attorney Kathleen Fay, who absolutely made you look like the fool that you are. About to get on 290 here. Okay. And we're in Worcester. Back in Worcester. One more time to Holden, and we'll be back home and we'll be writing blogs. So, spanking, you say. Yeah, where is Merb? Where is Merb? Yeah, we just went by the ghetto Walmart right there. Anyway, anybody have any other questions? If you do have a question, keep it short, because I'm not reading 5 lines of text. It just has to come across big on my screen while I'm looking forward. This turtle fact. Okay. Okay. So Attorney Faye, by the way, is the mother of Cosette, a 15-year-old child who messaged me about 2 years ago about her father, who was running for a political office and never paid child support, never recognized her. He was running for city council in Weymouth. And what do I do when a kid like that reaches out? Be like, sorry, kid, I'm blocking you. I'm not allowed to talk to a minor. No, you listen to him, you hear him out. The kid asked me to write a blog about her father. I did not even talk to the mom until after the blog was published. And then she, to this day, Katie, that, she really appreciates the effect that that blog has had on that's mentality. Like, she's going through a hard time. That's hard to see that. Like your father running for office and having on his flyers, like, loving father of 2. Meanwhile, she's out there being, like, told she doesn't exist by a man. Like, the flyer came to their fucking house. Disgusting. Disgusting. And so that blog for her meant a lot, because it's just like, it was validation that there's nothing wrong with her. Because that's gotta hurt, to have your father kind of deny your existence. And so her mother has been pretty candid with me and said, like, that blog meant a lot to my daughter. It changed her mentality. She feels a lot better about herself now after that. It's changed her confidence, and I'm happy to do it, because she was this real sweetheart, really nice girl. She came on the show probably like last January, I think. And her mother was in the room when it happened. And I had spoken to her mother at that point. And her mother did not send her anything like that. But her mother was very thankful for the effect that I had on her child, because Kathleen Fay is a good mother. She's a good mother. She actually cares about her child. She would never attempt to get her child to make up lies in order to get an order on some guy she didn't like, who she's never had an affair with. That's the craziest part about this, is Kate and I have no real relationship. So, never stop running in. I'll never stop rubbing it in. I mean, well, I will, because if she brings it up, I'll rub it in, obviously, because I won. But you guys don't just come here for Kate Peter. You come here for the big stories. Who gives a fuck about Kate Peter? Yeah, she's an abusive parent. Going through she's a criminal. She's being charged. I do write about that stuff, but a lot of people are criminals. She's just one of many. So, yeah. But, like, I got bigger fish to fry, man. We're going to expose that Vancouver cop next. That messed with my buddy there, Billboard Chris. Like, that to me is a much bigger story than this shit, so I don't want nothing to do with her. That's why I said I'm good with this. I don't need this. I offered to take all the blogs down. Little people know that. I took all the Kate Peter blogs down around after she got the jerk-off videos. As a truce. A sign of good faith. Like, that I don't need this in my life right now. You mean nothing to me. So I took all the blogs down. And I told 𝗏𝗏𝗄𝐶𝗵 about it. She relayed that message to Kate. Kate says, let's fucking, hit the gas pedal here. So that's what she does when you offer an olive branch. She accelerates. So, yeah, I mean, it could have been over, Kate. I took all the blogs down. After you accelerated shit, after you distributed the videos and everything, I put them back up, didn't I? And they're all still there. So you wanted these blogs down. You had a chance to take them down. I did take them down And then you wanted more, apparently. You begged for more. So I gave you more, didn't I? I gave you more. How you feeling right now, girl? What kind of lies are you making up in Discord about? How are you going to explain away the disaster, the abortion of a performance in court today? How are you going to explain that to your legion of retards? I guess it doesn't really matter because they'll believe anything you say, right? I mean, that's what it comes down to, is it doesn't really fucking matter what you say. You can tell them anything they want, and you know that. You know that. I saw Sarah Gannon on the Zoom in there. I could only see the first page of it, so. You know, like, this is what your kid's doing? Like, how is your kid doing in school? Like, you also said that she works like 30, like, my kid has, she always says, like, my daughter has a job, she's doing this and that. It's like, how does she have your, what is this, your child labor? You're proud of that? Like, okay, I had a summer job too, in the summer. The school year starts, maybe I'm working on the weekends, but I'm doing like extracurricular activities. Like, that's not something to brag about. Like, my daughter has a fucking job. Okay? Is she an adult? Like, what do you mean she's at? Okay, so she works at fucking work. She goes, he posted where she works. He posted the affidavit. He posted the court audio. It's like, yeah, I did. I'm allowed to, stupid. The judge told her that. He's allowed to do all of that. I don't know where you got this idea. Like, she goes, was anything in the order unambiguous? She asked me. I'm like, no, it was pretty straightforward. I understood what I could do and I couldn't do. Made sure not to cross the line. Unlike you, you don't know when to stop. That's why you got charged with violating an order. Because I know when to stop and where the line is, and you don't. Because not to sound like an elitist liberal and shit, Kate, but like, college educated, you know, was a teacher for a long time, well written. You barely graduated from high school. Like, our levels of education are not even in the same ballpark. But again, I don't want to sound like a liberal elitist. I know liberals always talk about their education, but I am smarter than you, obviously, and I think that goes without saying. But there's a lot of people out there who didn't go to college who are smart as well. So I'm going by Matty Moe's house. Should we pull into Matty Moe's house? There he is. Okay, let's. Matty Moe! Woo! There he is. There he is. There's Matty Moe's, the blue house. We're gonna honk. He still has the wreath up. Matty Moe! Matty Moe, he still got his Christmas wreath up. Matty Moe! Shout out! You're another one. You could have been on the winning team, but you chose the losing team instead. And now look at you, motherfucker, hanging out with child abusers and Brett. Like, the only thing more pathetic than Brett is somebody who wants to be Brett, and that would be 𝗵𝗵𝗱𝗹𝗄. 𝗵𝗵𝗱𝗹𝗄, son of the former Charlton Police Department police chief, who is retired at this point. Just an embarrassment to the 𝗵𝗱𝗹𝗄 family, of course, but that's his house. I've met him there. I've been there before for a little tour rider gathering. I met Brett there. A few of us, shout out. You know, a lot of real ones I met that day. I met Luke. Luke B was there. I met Margaret Milliken there. I met 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗏 there. Great guy from the Leicester Christmas Tree Lights. Still cool with all those people. Still friendly with them. But there were some losers there that joined the. I'm still buddies with Jen Lorian. She was there. But you know, Brett was there and a couple other losers, and Brian Doust, R.I.P. He was there as well. Yeah, so you know, that's my squad, son. So anyway, we're in Holden now. We are at Mount View Middle School. We just crossed the line from Matty lives on the Worcester Holden line. So yeah, but anyway, anybody have any other questions? I'm stuck at this fucking red light. They're putting a rotary here soon. Oh, no, it's green. Brett, I told you so. 13's warn you. Brett dressed like Steven can testify to that because he was there today. He saw how Brett, and I apologize to all the nice people who showed up that I didn't really get a chance to, like, you know, have more of a conversation with you guys outdoor. I do appreciate you being there. Don't get me wrong. Maybe we'll have a formal get together where we can celebrate this more in person. But how do you get the audio? It's the system. If you just search FTR court audio, it will come up. Any of you can get it yourself as well. You can request it. I believe we started at, you just have to have like the name of the plaintiff and the defendant. So the plaintiff in this case would be 𝗏𝗵𝗃 and 𝗕𝗵𝗂𝗺 𝗀𝗂𝗃, and the defendant would be Aidan Carney. So that you can look it up that way. What else are people saying? Was Kate's baby bump visible? Yeah, of course. Of course. Brett went in real life. Oh, yeah. What is your record in court now? It's way more than 10-0. Way more than 10-0. Counting all of the orders and the criminal complaints and the lawsuits, at least I would say 25-0, probably, but that's a good question. I'd like to know the exact amount. And counting all the Ryan Waters appeals, like those all count as wins too. You know, there's that. Like I said, the only one where I did not win was I was a plaintiff. And I've never been a plaintiff before, and I never will be again. I'll never do that again. And I admit that's stupid. I shouldn't have done that because, you know, Brett's not a threat. And they kind of proved that point by losing, didn't they? So there's that. So yeah, if you just started watching, you can go back and watch. We had like 450 people in here for the stream. So you guys kept me busy throughout this car ride. You were a nice, receptive audience, and thank you guys. Thank everybody so much. Just so many people reached out to me to offer me emotional support, say we got your back. That means a lot when people message that, because I'm not gonna lie, I was stressed about this, man. This was a pain in my fucking ass, and I'm so elated that it's over. And I took home the convincing victory, just the dominating victory I took home. So it was great to see. And I really did appreciate those messages of support, because it's a reminder that, like, it's not just about me, it's about the movement. It's about all of us here, and this movement of rational, sane, extremely attractive sex cult people who are just interested in exposing horrible people doing horrible things. And you recognize that she was one of them. You recognized how manipulative she was, and I appreciate all of your, you know, messages of support, your concern, all the donors. I mean, I appreciate it all, man. So I couldn't do shit without you fine people. So, and when she said that, like, he has all these supporters here, exactly, and you got nothing, because I got people who got my back, and you got Brian Riccio and Brett Killer, and that's who you got. You didn't even have a dump truck. She doesn't have a fucking job. She has nothing to do all day. She lives 30 minutes away. At least Brett lives 2.5 hours away, or 3 hours, whatever. She couldn't even be bothered to show up for court. That's how little she thinks of you and how little she actually respects you. But you knew that. So anyway, guys, we will see you guys all. I'm going to get back to work. I'm going to be home in 5 minutes. On Wachusett Street here in lovely, beautiful Holden, Massachusetts, with blue skies. It's a nice day. I'm going to try to get some work done before my kids get off the bus at 4 o'clock, and I hug them and I tell them I love them, which, you know, some people never do. So that matters, shit like that. So we will see you guys all for the live show tomorrow night at 9 p.m., where I'm sure we'll talk about this further. And peace out, Turtle Riders.